A very good afternoon, dear listeners. This is Akashvani Kohima at 103 megahertz. I am your host, Tia, in the studio, and I welcome you to yet another episode of our ongoing series, Drug Free Nagaland. This program is an initiative of the Regional News Unit Akashvani Kohima in collaboration with Nagaland Police Department and underlying departments. So, my dear listeners, this is the episode 11, and today's topic is drug addiction a disease or a choice? So, my dear listeners, I welcome you all to our program. You are tuned in to the station of the region at 103 megahertz. Listeners from Mallory Shamato, Dimaputani, Mon and Twinsang, you are tuned in at 100.1 megahertz. Listeners from Mocha, it's 101.8 megahertz. Listeners from Peg, it's 102.1 megahertz. Listeners from Mon and Twinsang, you are tuned in at 101.1 megahertz. And listeners from Zinaboto, it's 101.2 megahertz. And I welcome you all, and just letting you know that once again we are also available on our digital platform. All you have to do is go to Google Play Store, install it to your phone, News on Air app, and click on live radio to listen to this program. You can also connect with us, as this is an interactive session, by sending in your message at 9436805333. Bilingual program is interactive program is to apni khan questions kumba thaki shekule kiba janibole mon jai kule to itu number message korule parabo. Don't forget to prefix your message with the code FM space F and write the name, your name if possible, and the location from where you are writing. 9436805333 nocha 3685 message korule parabo. So, my dear listeners, without much further delay, I'm going to quickly introduce to you to our expert today, Ms. Veronica Nriame, Psychiatric Social Worker, District Mental Health Program, Kohima. Thank you, ma'am, so much for being with us this afternoon. And also we have with us a very special person, yes, indeed, a gentleman who is able to successfully live a drug-free life, who is also joined by his lovely sister. Thank you so much for being with us in the studio.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure.
So we are super excited to start with our discussion today. And as I've mentioned, this topic is something that we need to reiterate over and over again, because sometimes I think people have this misconception that it's a disease, it's a choice. So we are going to divulge into it. So yes, my dear listeners, once again, let me tell you the topic of today's program is drug addiction, a disease or a choice. So let me start our discussion today with our madam here, Miss Veronica. So how prevalent is drug abuse in Nagaland, and what are the substances that are commonly being abused right now in Nagaland?
Yes, if we look at our current scenario in Nagaland, speaking of Kohima, I think if we look since the year 2018 till now, we can see which has increased a lot, and I think post-COVID, it has increased drastically. So we can say it's so sad to know that many of our young people are involving in this, and if we talk about types of drugs, I think it depends on the places as well as the age group. But we cannot pinpoint it's a combination of many, and kunba to khabi mutu bi khai aro alak drugs, ganja hobi, heroin hobi, brown sugar hobi. So they take multiple substances as well. So makan itu prevalence kan saishe gole to, if we look at the psychological aro social factors kan saishe gole to, school dropouts kan aro nohilibi from broken families. But not meaning to say that if they are from broken families, family can tik-tak nohoy gole to sob manu khai inya to, we cannot come to that conclusion. But higher risks thaki jay. Aro nika hoy kine again, actually when we talk about factors in our society la saishe gole to, the generation itself, friends can, no living environmental factors can, manu kan kaya se koile to, again very high chances of maybe try korina size kineka ho. So that's where again I think prevalence rate is rising. I think Taibi kai to maybe he share his experience. Tai la side I la perspective as but again for me I feel that environmental factors also
plays a crucial role.
Very, very crucial role. Because even in the if anyone comes to our detox center and if we start interacting with them, how do you start? It always starts with friends can bote thagishe to they can try kori gushe so tadebra koshis korina suru hoise.
Experimentation.
Experimentation as well as peer pressure. Friends can't create, so let me also give a try. So that's where I think nowadays, since kind of even the availability, accessibility, maybe that also lead to the high rates of prevalency these days.
Those are the factors, na. So we cannot like bottle it down or go down to reason. There are many factors that influence.
Yes.
Can you please elaborate on the social economic impact of drug abuse on individuals and families in Nagaland?
If we look at socio-economic factors, there are many factors. Even if if we look at it from different perspective, even if they are from a broken family,
financially unstable,
even if they are
economically
unstable, but there are people who are able to cope with it. So I cannot come to conclusion and say that this is the reason why they are. But like I said, when I am born and brought up from a family where my mom, mola baba ama khaigina chakra kori thage, aro neighbor to holebi khamanu khane bishi hoi jai.
Become vulnerable.
Yeah, I become vulnerable to it. I become susceptible to whatever is happening. So I become the byproduct of whatever is happening. So that environmental factors, as I was talking about, and when we talk about environmental factors, family la factors can be kushi jai, financial stability can, and we're talking about social demographics, right? Financial families issues, and again environmental factors. I think these are the main issues can lead or that makes the person more vulnerable. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. My question is for our brother here who is with us right now. Can you kindly share with us how you got into drugs, itula effects and your road to recovery?
First of all, thank you for the opportunity. Drugs start for like direct drugs kind of start for means first like with kind of ganja wa shuru wala aste in our ganja phase in our ni pills kan khaina alaze to getting in the drugs was because like peer pressure rate thagi out of curiosity wa khaise ni over curious thagi to khaile kina feel ho consuming drugs affected me in many ways. Like my mentally disturbed, physically we affect na, or breaking my relationship with my families, friends. Kill means like my behavior da alak hui jaise, or like trust be grow na poila. Or any family mato support kuri na na they supported me, support to bishi kuri. But poila nisina they couldn't trust me la because my ekta trust to betray kuri na tamra muike. Or my road to recovery it's progressive, and I thank God for that.
You can face your relationship with your friends, with your family. First, eventually, it deteriorates the family relationship. I'm sure your family supported you a lot. And if you can also highlight because it's not easy to drugs I believe, but it's a very difficult journey. It's a very difficult decision, I should say. To be decision and your journey start to be
Ajina bal it's because of like mom hotai pray good na moi tilo de jana pray nule I could hear him praying moi gani pray good ya tai na moi ni like bal ho le gani pray because taiwa na puri dia it's because of God's grace na aji moi na bal situation na ni like I'm sober today. Take video.
तो अपनी किमान साल तक और किमान months तक चलाई देख जे
Itu like ini like 6 years plus ini होने use करना बिशी दिरो जे खाइना
6 years तो
more than 6 years also
तो itu la journey time de अपनी की भाभी किना decide करशे that विषय मोई हजुर तो change को अपना
itu ini life to totally mess up हो जाए ना like iko progressively थाकी ना और iko kurole ना पारे होता है life to dependent हो जाए ना इतना substance लगे dependent हो जाए जो ना खाइले देखो kurole ना पारे खाइले तो है काम kurole भी ini family gathering आने जाओ ले भी इतना हो जाए मुझे life तो नहीं like it was almost about to hit rock bottom ना so मुझे realize रही I have to get out from here so that society can be involved करो और life तो भी आगे जाओ लगे ना नहीं थे के लिए तो कितने भी नहीं थे किसी बोले तो कितने भी life तो आगे ना जाओ ना ना दोन भावना करो मुझे decide कर लीजिए ना मुझे quit करो ना
तो itu journey तो easy था क्या ना ये बोला
yeah it was very hard
ना तो on your journey to recovery अपनी ला point of view ब्रा drugs use करा मानो खान नोइले भी abuse करा मानो खान society दे भी stigmatize करी लो ना तो इतु अपनी ला recovery journey दे भी इतु बड़ा impact इतु बड़ा effect करिशना करा ना मानो की को बो माने इतु बड़ा भी
इतु effect करे society को भी effect करे means like society बा भी judge करे ना मान के और खाइना थे भी judge करे और नखा भी भी change करा भी judge करे तो like ini society right to stop really the bal ना और like society भी तो ला educate really a lot bal हो तांगी ना
so my next question is for your sister how has drug abuse affected your family dynamics and relationship as we all know that when someone uses drug it does not affect the person himself pura family affect ho jaye pura society affect ho jaye so how has it affected your family
First of all, it disrupts the family peace and financial incapacity, and it is like you said, not only the person or the abuser who is going down, okay, but it drags the whole family down as well. And when it comes to relationship, I would like to say that since that person, the abuser, is from your family only, you only have to empathize them, no? Because if you empathize them only and be in their shoe, if you try to fit in their shoe and like try to understand them, then only like you will be able to help them.
In your opinion, how well is society addressing the issue of drug use among young people? Are you someone who has struggled with your own family members? Society भी किन्या issue face करे से I believe अपने भी you might have formed a group ini na janya mano drug use kura mano family kan kumba kan ki bi jani na bi thaki jai na jani na you form a community by yourself so how is society addressing
okay in my opinion I feel that society can do more than what it is doing at the moment and society knows that it will pose a threat in the future, so they should proactively act and work for the future, else it will pose a threat na
for everyone.
Yeah and societies should also not resort to deterrent punishment, okay, but give them an opportunity to reform. Like it of course it depends whether he is a habitual offender or he's an first time offender, so it will depend kore. And measures to I would like to say that at community level na churches from the community needs to be involved as well, as they will positively influence the community to seek professional help. For example, the Kohima Baptist Church has been taking initiative and has a ministry called the Lifeline Ministry, where they reach out to both alcoholics as well as drug abusers and provide counseling and rehabilitation aids. And the initiative is going very successfully. And then so religious heads from the communities should come together and address the problem and help out. Also, serious steps should be taken by the police force as well as narcotics branch in dealing with the illicit trafficking and in implementing the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances, as I feel that steps are not being taken seriously and sufficiently. That's what I would
Thank you so much for shedding light. What you mean is all the factors and all the sections of the society should work together,
Yes,
because
exactly.
it can happen to him, it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. So on that note, my next question is for Madam Veronica. In your view, is drug addiction a disease or a choice? I think that is something that we really need to
Yes.
explain it to our listeners.
Yes. It is both. Why? Ki kana ase kule to suru hua time de moi la choice ase. Experiment kule, try kule. Right, brother?
Yes.
So, choice. Moi he choose kurushe itu try kurikine moi intoxicated hule kini ka kuno moi experience kule monja. So that curiosity. So it is always a choice. So when we given having said that, itu choices can process this choice processes can lead to addiction. Ki kana wish kule to any activity, kiki drugs ekla no hoy any activity which is capable of stimulating pleasure. Moi itu kuri kine kushi pai. Aro moi pleasure pai. Ineka hua to it always holds a risk for addiction. Moi aro itu behavior to repeat kurule mun takija. Ki kana wish kule mo kan la brain de itu activities is taking place where it releases the chemicals called dopamine. So when it is released, moi itu pleasurable activities kan to arobi kurule mun jai jai. So when I reach that phase, moi dependent la phase kushi jai shito. Why? Because I want to keep repeating that behavior over and over again, because more intoxicated way gina high taga to kushipai. So every intake there pleasure to chemicals to release great. To aro itu chemicals to aro be pleasure to experience same effect experience kula karna aro
You have to increase
yes
the dosage.
those be increased kula lagi, right?
Yes.
So inika watu that's where leading to dependency and addiction, where I keep seeking over and over again. So first initial starting the two always a choice, and when it goes the long term, it is a disease.
It's a disease that requires medical attention.
Yes, definitely.
So what are the strategies do you think find most effective in helping individuals overcome drug addiction in your line of work?
First and foremost, detoxification. Because itula ahila to there are ita to mukha society te bi bishi mano jani jado, and the good thing I'm so happy about moi bishi kushi pa to mukha naga mano kan ita to help bisara suruwa itu kan bishi hoile bi ita alo mistake kora to tai kan acha moi la bacha to stop ho la se sita prayer center le pathai de aro prayer center de bra aro tai la withdrawal symptoms kan ho like ne aro hospital de ane. So moi ko la mon to first step la ho shu to detoxification. Please bra amni kan la bacha kan le nature la thagi lebi amni jaigena hospital de ho lebi, even if amni inpatient admit na grow ko lebi medicine can help. Mo kan ita patient kan bi nya se home detoxification kan kora kan bi ase, but utu moi abstinent hola se moi na choi jawola se itula determination paigina ase ko first to detoxification. Detoxification se ko to utu chemicals kan to body bra cleanse ko lage aro itu cleanse kora da inde ta khana body bia reaction kan thaki jai, where we call as withdrawal symptoms. Sweating thake, homa wala na pare, restless thake. It depending on the intake kiman kai iman severity bi thaki jai withdrawal symptoms. So that's where detoxification. Detoxification to taila withdrawal symptoms can solve manage kora. Family members will be the one who is willing to work on himself. Next step to is their goal. They go to rehabilitation prayer center na, as long as the withdrawal symptoms is managed. Because utu time the medical attention lagi. And tai kun chariola kushis kora se tai kami pishi dupai. So that's where they need medical attention. So that's where they can it to help lower and therapy. It goes side by side. Psychotherapy plays a very important role. See, the thing is, manu kan ita mo kan saishe ko to way starting to for experimentation, for fun, for pleasure. Kushi ini friends na they enjoy ko la kan wajai. Holebi kai thaki kine tai kan chari wala kushish kurubo na para ho jai, and in the process of doing everything tai khan la problem taro add kurina kumba to depression te bhi kushi jai, and some might have any major stresses tai khan bhi kushish kuru ithakine aro na para jai, again they go into frustration, or it can lead into depression, or maybe any other mental health issues can be beshi thaki jai. So that's where they need intense counseling session, therapy khan lagi jai. So that is the complete package where underlying issues ki karne khase itu khan jani jai na. If there are any underlying issues khan thaki shi bole to itu can be tackled bole. Yes, it has to correlate. Medication खाइके ना थाके लेबे ओ तो underlying issues खान तो settled ना हो शे बोले तो इतो keep popping up आरो आही थाकी वो आरो ताई deal गुले ना जानी शे बोले तो it can always lead to relapse. Right? Yeah, so that's why the full complete treatment package lagi, and we are doing that actively in Naga Hospital when they are admitted in detox center. When tai khan la active withdrawal symptoms can manage kuru she बोले तो we start the therapy sessions, intense therapy session based on the need. Taki lage aise individual therapy lage na, couple therapy lage na, family therapy lage. We try our best to give the complete package of treatment to them.
On that note, my question is for you, brother. Apni bhi kiman diri hoise clean hoina?
We clean in and like it's few months is clean ho. We need like shiva relaxation na. Need more shiva relaxation. This time luckily bishi diri relax bishi diri sober hoina na. We have to like maintain big rule for rehab jaise or alak detox kan bhi apply krise nile. We kitia Naga Hospital approach krise tadewai detox now like se Naga Hospital la tadewa detox rabisi to tana effort to bishi bal thagise na. Tana bishi help krise me in our nahi tadewa line na itia like bishi bal rai bishi bal ase moi arana.
So I think that is a wonderful journey. We should all keep striving na aro kwanishna long ongoing process ase. So in the ongoing process apni bhi kwanishna madam right kuida ise therapy and counseling bishi helpful ase. So has it been helpful to you? Can you please?
Yes, counseling be spiritually counseling me bishi helpful ase. Aro it one normal counseling be it's helpful na, but in spiritual counseling be one get help greatly means one without God we cannot do anything na, and we are nothing.
That is a wonderful approach. Sometimes it's important to talk na. It's important to lay your heart out na. So that is a wonderful approach. Well, let's take a short break and we will be right back.
Which one will you choose?
Welcome back, dear listeners. This is Akashvani Kohima at 103 megahertz, and you are listening to our program, Drug Free Nagaland. And in our episode today, the topic is drug addiction a disease or a choice? We have in our studio with us Miss Veronica Nriame, psychiatric social worker, district mental health program, and along with her, we have a brother who was able to successfully leave drugs, and also he is joined by his sister. So we are going to continue with our discussion here as time to it's almost 1:40. We have 20 minutes remaining, so we will be receiving messages also. So dear listeners, if you have any question that you want to direct to any of our experts here in our studio, then you can write to us at 9436805333. Don't forget to use the code FM space F and write your name and the location from where you are writing. So as we continue with our discussion, my question is for Miss Veronica. What role do mental health play in contributing to or resulting from drug abuse, and how is this addressed in the rehabilitation centers?
Actually, itu contributing factor lah hishik udah it can be both. Manu kan depressed wa karena, for example, we have many cases kan she's gori thati gana napai. So like kan depression dan hishik gana ro itu la feeling to escape kola karena mudusu, and it can be other way around. Khai gina chariula na pare gina nolibi this dawai kha noli mudu kha be closely related with, again it can it's closely linked with depression. Again it can lead to depression and again. So it can be both ways. Holibi moi kwanish na moi kana saishe ko to stress factors kana bi kama no kana shi thaki jai when they fall into any stressful situation ulawa na para ho jai. So that mudu na holibi drugs becomes your escape zone. Escape ko lang mo jai life la problem kan hit kora time there they at that point mudu ka drugs ka itu la option bishi attractive ho jai do. So even moi kan detox la jai ina mo kan counseling kan a therapy session kan lo atang devi that is what often I can express kora to itu ase family da jagra olai she tension olai she. So itya will be aru ka manu kan when they are there is always depression thakya karna arobi khai noli kitaba to kha karna depression wishe, so it can contribute to both.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, vice versa circle bi ho pare. But when the mental health issues thaki jaise kole to aro, that's where moi age the kwanishna they need intense therapy session. So that can itu depression anxiety karne itya moi kwanishna si why moi khan ki karne problem khan inya khan ola dinde escape kula na para ho jai na lebi moi shortcut bagena moi modu khai gena drugs khai gena itu la feeling escape kula mo jai, especially many guys below 25 years or in their early 30s so she kula to moi itu feeling to moi alchi lage to kana moi modu khai dila so power jai. So that becomes their escape zone, so they don't want to feel depressed. However, if we look at life, I think that's being going through the life challenges makes us human, but sometimes we want shortcut. So that's where many starts developing or adapting faulty coping mechanism. Lamba jalai to help na kore. Maybe immediately, maybe for few hours. However, itu kaya thakila mo ito iko tension feel na kore. Ito kana especially for sunflower. To intoxicate la face to at least 6-7 hours last corredo. So alok ito khodam kuruo aro khai diwo. So
tension do it's still there
because what happens is that drugs khai she kole to pain la sensation to block corredo and they are in the euphoric state. So that's where they are in their own
bubble.
Yes, bubbles where it makes them feel no pain about anything. So that's where, see, the thing is they are escaping from their emotional turbulences that they are facing. So it always leads to that. If we look at it, may not be full-blown depression, anxiety, when there are certain major factors contributing to it. So it again leads them to continue the intake of drugs or alcohol. Aro itya la many cases of relapse they can khai ko aro relapse ho itu cases ka mukhan saile bi jakra hoigine kiba ekta family te dangor ekta problem hoche nole personal life te bi na hoche to moi 18 to inya thaki jese to moi na pare gina alo bolero khai jese so from there alo pe aro bishi aro culminate korigine full relapse lapses can lead to relapse again full blown relapse inya thaki jai so these mental health issues plays a very very vital role if it is handled properly. Sobriety la life to be bishi help kore if it is not the cycle to addiction na cycle pra ulaw la bishi tan ho jai again another factor is personality factor bishi involve kore jai where if I have a very poor coping mechanism or if moi bishi impulsive thaki jaise by nature so ekta problem ho ke ahina trigger kule bi immediately I might adopt a faulty coping strategies. It might not be very helpful, but since I'm used to it, so that's where alcohol use kora to moi kana bishi easy hoise to escape from every problem. So moi ke aro problem hit kurushe kole to those options becomes very very attractive again. Aro moi kan rehabilitation la efforts kan aishe kole to I get a brother pressure kora nishna. I really appreciate churches taking initiatives to help. They can detox game kan thake and they mention coronation and that's what I know our church can and I remember many clients of ours they can that the detox game identify corona and they know that they need further interventions so few of them were referred to our detox center Naga Hospital so I think they are doing an amazing job in providing spiritual counseling helping them to rebuild their relationship with God, how to enhance and different methods. So when we talk about rehabilitation, moi kan rehabilitation aku tha crucial kole to tai kan care rehabilitate kore kine aro society te kini ka tai kan kushi pra aro reintegrate kore na kushi pra life to suru kola paribo and that is the purpose of rehabilitation to rehabilitate them into drugs no live alcohol pratai khan ke sal handicap nishna banai dichido and they are in their own bubbles kind of thing where dictar thakile bi na online thakishi so rehabilitation plays a very important role utu tai khan ke itu la pon te prana olai digine to help them and enhance their health in every perspective in every aspect in a healthy happy productive fruitful life dibola karne I think rehabilitation plays a very significant role.
Thank you so much, ma'am. My next question is for you. How do you think that relapse condition in the past be hui na ishe so you have been through the whole process it's a painful process we experience korina ishe and apni do till itia do for apni condition a few months we just it it's been some lamba months I think longest hobo na gina
yes
to kinia parishe itula I mean, what are the different steps apni any personally ki good or bad whatever it is emotional hobi mental hobi medicine hobi counseling hobi ki steps pra apni ki this time help korche because I think apni like experience by mohan listeners na if anyone is indulging in it probably learn kuro tharibole mon thake hole bi najani na bi thake to that method that you use might be helpful to someone else to do koi dile ba
first of all moi ni like muila purana friends kan lode ni I stop mingling with them aro ini music bi bishi important as na mon like high music khan bari mon gi bishi involve kore ini triggers as na puila la khainai high la music to hudina thake to idu hunia ba bi mon puila mon kina buina enjoy kore thake itula vibe to mon miss kore na hi jaina so it's better to stop listening those kind of music aro friends kan gi bi avoid kro aro company han gi avoid kro ini aro friend ini phone bi not choi bala je for some few months na kili means itu amna bi bishi trigger kore na he phone ini sai thakibo nilui call ahi jai nai to itu han bi ekta ase ini steps kana ase ekta na itu amna bishi help kore
that is like amni nijor identify kore na kutora man ki trigger kore I think one should be able to do it can be sometimes with family members be condition ko nijor la family members be thakibole pare nijor la friends be thakibole pare so I think best thing is you have to be able to identify what is triggering you thank you so much for sharing that so my next question is for you ma'am what are the most significant hurdles family face in accessing support services and how can these barriers be addressed?
I would like to say that there is light at the end of the tunnel na. So we should not shy away from availing the support services. For example, like Ma'am mentioned, the Naga Hospital Detox Center, we can regard it as, not regard, but it is one of the best detox, I would say that it is one of the best detox center in the state, because I have seen my brother, and then how to say, he has been to a rehab center as well, but there he did not receive the proper detox medications or which is
The whole
required
program,
for you. Yes,
yeah?
yes, exactly. So, but whereas in Naga Hospital, the doctors are there, and then even psychological counselors are there. So all those are there to help you, and it is very important to detox. Detox, then only, like, if you want, you can reach out to the rehab centers. But without detoxing, if you go to a rehab center, that is, in my opinion, never going to work out. I would like to say that. So we should not shy away from availing the services. And for me, I did not find hurdles in accessing the services.
Any kind of facilities,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
readily
So,
available.
Yes, so we should not shy away, and like our mindset, we should like
Change our
yeah,
mindset.
yeah.
Many a times I feel like any kind of addiction, direct detox center to be pathaidena without getting any kind of help. And like you said, prayer center can be, and which is also very important, but it's down the line process.
Yes, yes.
Steps should be followed.
Since we are Christians, I really love when they seek spiritual help, but the right direction have to be, because I often say to even to the family members, because as sister have shared, it's very true. Sometimes if my brother is taking, I feel stigmatized. Moi itu kotha to kola sorom lage. So moi detox te jaishe kola to moi ke judge kro, to prayer center te jaishe kola to moi ke judge na kro, so moi prayer center te first jawo. But utu bhai or brother who wish to recover, try to struggle kro. Why? Because tai la body pra itu changes, chemical changes, tai nakhila hoshe kola to without medical attention, tai iche do power, and we don't know what
Other problems may give rise to.
complication may arise. So when there are experts to handle that, so we should always avail that, as sister have shared in a way. After that, if Taikana Jagina prayer center Maina Buhi Sal, I am full support for that. But it's just that it has to be the right process of doing
The
it.
procedure, the
Procedure.
steps.
And it's very important to follow the procedure. Because Taikan physically weak thagishe or psychologically issues kan thagishe bole to my prayer center jale bi mon dihine pratna kurna paro, because I'm physically unfit.
Yes.
So that's where treatment into interventions can be aro affect us.
So I want to continue with our discussion here, but we are running out of time. So my next question is for Madam. So is there any helpline number, or is there any helpline facility that you want to share to our listeners? And along with that, is there any message that you want to give out?
Okay, let me first go with my message. Listeners can hunya can kun na try gina ase no libi I am test kuribo na nai ho inya ponder kura kan, please mudu hobi drugs hobi itu do kitya bi choose na ko lage, because moi age the mention kura nishna, it is a choice. So that should never be your option. Aro nika hoine life the dictar hwa time the tension hwa time the stress hwa time the difficult circumstances thakya time the, please never resort to alcohol or drugs. And amni khan dictar hwa time the, you are always welcome to come and seek mental health professionals. Ito ekta ase aro kha manu khan aro struggled moi kinika olabo struggle kora khan I get the sister bra kwanishna, please bra professionals help avail kuriwi. And amni itu avail kurishe kule to amni la life, sober life amni suru kula pariwo. Aro because you deserve to live a dignified and productive life. Amni mudu kha drugs kha karna inika thaki jawo. Aro we know that there is social stigma still exists. Koile bi please give yourself chance to live a meaningful, happy and productive life. So please come and seek help. So itu karena moi khan Naga Hospital te ekta project rest NHK koine ekta project ase. Phone number to 9366990275. I repeat 9366990275. Itu project rest NHK to moi khan detox center pra ola piche de noile rehab center pra ola piche de noile prayer center pra ola piche de moi khan utula gap bridge kurula because moi khan institutional rehabilitation itu kan pra ola she kule to tate bi aro relapse la factor bi she high ho ja so moi khan ka manu khan aro kushis kora manu khan ke moi khan la alu fully professional help di hula monja if because recovering journey to it's very very difficult easy na hoy ito kana apni ekla na hoy mukhan professionals kan apni khan ke amni la sobriety journey the help kule manu khan ase kone huda yad kuri thaki kone janai dia ase aro mukhan ekta number bi tele manas koina ase itu to overall Nagaland any mental health issues kan karne phone purula paribo aro itu number to 14416 I repeat 14416
Thank you so much for that lovely message. And let's go to our brother here. Is there any message that you want to give to our listeners who is like amni nishna recovery journey dibi thayole pare or who is still stuck in the whole process? So any message that you want to share?
I just want to share that any change korle monja ase like totan I just want to say that families can get approach kruvina in our na tila problem to share kruvi so that tai help nijor ke help korle paro aro ki ko taila addiction do tai chharole paro na aro ini kun support thakina je ini always pray to God aro itu bishide aro ini prana satya no deni miliwe in our aro nakamano ini ki kun nakamano ini like for the beginners it's like ni there are many people ini ki ko all of few months is khaina na to idon garne ko le munja like it's better not to start because once addicted it's very hard to quit na
Thank you so much. That is a lovely message. Sub category ke apne koi dishe simple but I think very helpful ho especially someone who has been through all the process. Lastly, I would ask our dear sister that if there is any message to our listeners.
I would like to say that there is no good outcome of any sort of addiction na so just from the first place itself indulge no koribi experiment bi no koribi na and don't be curious because it is said that curiosity kills the cat and then an empty mind or an idle mind is said to be the devil's playground na you don't always keep yourself occupied and if you have any worries anxiety kira auni trouble rena surrender to God and seek the right medical help if that is also required na ito
thank you so much lovely message as our brother has said that if you are one of them that the first thing that you should do is reach out to your loved ones because they are there for you. And with that we come to the end of our program. Thank you so much to all our experts here.
Thank you so much for
and
having us.
we had a very fruitful time today, but before I wind up our program, let me tell you once again that as Madam has mentioned that Project REST laga helpline number is 9366990275 tadibi call korle paribo and telemanus for Nagaland 14416. You can call there for any kind of help, and like I always say, if you encounter or if you want to register or if you just anonymously register korle munjai kule any drug activity noile peddling hoile trafficking hoile you can always use the app Made in Nagaland and call your cops apps. So ito app kan dibi jabole parabo and helpline number bi sabke di dishe. With that we come to the end of our program. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.